right now. So on the first day, you're gonna make the dough for the tortilla and put it in the fridge, and then you're gonna cook on the second day. So it'll be like first day, prepare everything, but not cook anything. On the second day, you're gonna cook the stuff for the street tacos, which is the meat and your tortilla, and then any like veggies or whatever to put on top, like onions or if you want tomatoes or something like that, and cheese. There'll be cheese. And then on the third, and then you'll also cook the beans on the second day, because it takes a really long time for beans to cook. So we're gonna cook them, and then we're gonna cook them some more the next day too, and put flavors in and everything on the second day, or third day. Sorry. So first day, prepare everything. Second day, cook the street tacos and tortillas. Start cooking the beans. Third day, make the rice and beans and more tortillas for the. And there'll be cheese on the third day as well. And then you can choose how you want to eat your rice and beans, tortillas, and cheese on the third day. Okay, so let's get started. So the first thing you're going to need is 2 cups of flour. And you're going to put in 2 cups of flour into your bowl, 1/2 teaspoon of salt, and then you're going to add in 3/4 cup of water and 3 tablespoons of oil. And then you'll mix it all up. You'll break it into small little balls, and then you'll roll it with the rolling pin. So we're going to take our 2 cups of flour, and we're just going to level it by hand, or you could use a straight edge spatula as well. 1 and 2. Okay, so we got our 2 cups of flour right there. Then we're going to have our 1/2 teaspoon of salt. 1/2 teaspoon. Okay, and then we're going to get our 3 tablespoons of oil. So I'm just going to, honestly, everything with homemade tortillas is typically done by hand. You could use utensils if you want. I'm just going to use my hand to mix up the salt and flour together in here. Okay, now 3 tablespoons of oil. Now I'm going to do 3/4 cup of water as our last item here. Use cold water. Okay, we check our water always at eye level to make sure we have the right amount. We put a little back if we don't need it. And a little more back. All right, 3/4 cup. I'm gonna just put that right in there. I'm gonna mix it with my hands. And it's gonna create a dough. Okay, once I have it so that the dough is pretty much together, then I'm gonna sprinkle the counter and do some hand kneading on the counter. I'm just gonna rinse my hands really quick. Okay, so your dough at this point is going to look like this. So it's a little bit of a looser dough here. You can see.
Cool.
Okay. Did you see it? Okay. All right, so now I'm gonna sprinkle my counter with some flour. Light sprinkle. All right, and then I'm gonna do some hand kneading here. You wanna do a little bit of hand kneading with your flour so that it's not too wet, but it's also not too dry. You want it basically so that it's not like really sticky, but it's still soft. So I feel like it needs a little bit more. And you want to hand knead really well so you can make sure all that oil and water are completely mixed in. There are many different ways to create a handmade tortilla. This is just a simple recipe. I also have another recipe that I like that uses butter to make the tortillas, and I like that way too. You can make tortillas basically out of like a lot of different kinds of flour. So there's like corn tortillas, and flour tortillas are like the most popular, but you can make tortillas out of almost anything. I will have some corn tortillas available. We're not going to do homemade corn tortillas in this lab, but I'll have some corn tortillas available for students that want some for like anything. Because street tacos typically use corn tortillas. But I thought it would be fun to learn how to do a handmade flour tortilla, so I just threw that in here. All right, I'm going to add a little bit more flour, and then this should be ready to go to the next step. So basically, once you have like a solid dough and you're ready to go, you're going to basically break it into like, this makes about 12 tortillas. You're just going to put them in little balls like this that are about this size, okay? And you're probably going to have a little extra tortillas at the end that you could just eat. I'll have butter available if you want to like put some butter on the tortilla. Then you just take it and you flatten it into a little disc like this. And then you're just going to roll it out until it's very, 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 very thin, okay? Now, if you have a tortilla press at home, that's awesome because you can just press the tortillas. Some people have those if they make a lot of handmade tortillas. You want to make sure you have enough flour on your counter before rolling it out because these get a little sticky and they might get stuck to it. So, and you want to put flour on your rolling pin as well. Let me scoop this out of my area. So I have like a bigger area. Okay. Now, tortillas don't have to be a perfect circle. You could spend time doing it if you want, or you could just roll them out. And you just want them nice and thin. I'm making very small ones, by the way. If you want bigger, you could do a little bit bigger. Like for the rice and beans one, you'll probably want bigger. For the street tacos, small is good. Or you can use the corn. Now, with the flour tortillas, you just cook it on a dry skillet. You don't put any fat or butter or oil or anything. But when you cook the corn tortillas, you want to cook them in a little bit of oil. Okay, if you choose to do a corn tortilla. Okay, this is nice and thin, almost paper thin for your tortilla here. Okay, very, very thin. All right, then you're going to heat your skillet up just like to a medium. Okay, while that's getting warmed up, I'm going to wash my hands again or rinse them. They're covered in flour. Now, traditionally, they just use their hands to flip the tortilla. I don't want you to burn yourself. Kids that aren't used to cooking tortillas from scratch or like don't do it a lot at home, they may not be like equipped to use their hands. So I recommend using the spatula, a turner spatula to do it. Okay, so you're just putting it dry. No oil, no nothing for the tortilla. You just put it on there dry. And then it cooks for a little bit. You watch it cook. It takes a little bit of time. And it'll start to bubble a little bit. I usually just kind of, the first tortilla, it takes a little bit longer. So you might wait like a whole minute on each side. But after that, it only takes 30 seconds on each side to cook the tortilla. Like it'll go really quick. And the longer that you cook, the hotter your skillet becomes. Even if you turn the heat down, it'll still be really hot, so it'll cook them a lot faster. You just want to have a plate. I don't have one, but you want a plate right next to you so you can put your dry tortillas after you cook them, okay? So on the first day, you are going to do your dough for your tortilla, and you're going to prepare your rice, you're going to prepare your beans, you're going to put your meat in your marinade. And I'll have this all on paper for you. So all you have to do is look and like follow, okay, day 1, this is what we're doing. And then the second day, you're going to cook your meat, you're going to cook your tortillas, you're going to eat your street tacos, and you're going to cook your beans about halfway. And then the third day, you're going to finish cooking your beans, you're going to cook your rice, you're going to prepare more tortillas if you want, or have corn or whatever. And then you'll put whatever toppings you desire, and you'll eat them. The only thing I'm going to try is I'm going to be going around checking that you cook things solidly. I will probably try the rice and beans to make sure you cook them solidly. And at this point, I'd probably flip maybe a little longer. But as you can see, there's little flecks of browning, but you can also see some little parts where it wasn't cooked all the way. I honestly like mine a little undercooked because I think they taste good. There's no like eggs or anything in this, so the dough isn't good. It doesn't have any bacteria warnings there. All right, I think I showed you everything. You'll just follow the instructions on your recipe, and I'll have everything broken down by day. All right, that's it.